Hello, Ruby Retrograde Tarot and T here, and what do I have for you and what am I dishing out? It is day 18 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot. Now I am back a little bit late on schedule. Unfortunately, I have gotten I would say a moderately bad cold. It could have been worse. Um, my voice is finally more or less back to normal and not so I'm not coughing as much as I was a couple days ago, and I'm not as phlegmy as before, so I can try to catch up to the days that I haven't been doing on time, quote unquote. But anyways, now this is for day 18 of the challenge. And the prompt for it is what decks I have that give me the most insight with the imagery and symbolism. I took this to mean which decks among my family of collection do I find, I would say, the most easy to read, in the sense that when I draw cards with them, or whether it's just one card a day or a particular spread or just a free form reading, the ones that it just flows. The one that flows the most, sometimes even what I draw is not necessarily what I see in the card. It kind of takes me places way more. Or if I do readings for myself, I will rely the least on reference material, just because I more or less almost immediately get whatever inspiration I need to get from it. So I decided to go with three of them this time, with an honorable mention. And I'll start with the first one, which is, pretty much a classic, as I will call it, because it's just very much the base Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. Why is this one easy? When I think about it, technically it should be the second one most easy, because I started off with Marseille, but yet I end up using Rider-Waite-Smith decks a bit more than Marseille. But this one, I figured that it is just something that I get most imagery and symbolism. Something as simple as the books that I have referencing tarot or meanings or history about it. There are a lot of them about Rider-Waite-Smith, so I have a lot of these in mind. And also, perhaps because it's a base, by that I mean it's one of the three systems from which we have so many different versions and variation. So when I see this, it's kind of like going to the source, and so it's easy for me to do interpretation. Sometimes I might get something that may seem off the beaten path, but it all kind of ties in together. So my first deck that I get the most inspiration, that is easiest for me to draw from, is quite simply No Frills, Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Now, the second one is, it's pretty much a clone, but I also enjoy using it a lot, if only the cardstock. But I know people who know this deck know the issue with the cardstock. That is the Modern Witch Tarot. So as you can see, it's pretty much the Rider-Waite-Smith, but 21st century, women-centric, because to me, it's nearly the exact same, but with the characters change. So it's very little transition, I'll call it. It's very little transition for me to find symbolism, or to find things to get inspired from. These I one the one complaint that many people have is the cardstock. It is quite stiff. Even having gotten these used, when I started shuffling them, I had some issues with the sides kind of fraying, but nevertheless, it did not stop me and does not stop me from you know, reading them. This reminds me of a read I did for someone, and it just went off in a whole tangent just off of a Four of Cups, and I drew other. I had inspiration and to speak about things that were not even necessarily covered by it. But that is my second deck, from which the symbolism and the imagery just, I don't know, I guess it's one of those instant connection. I think maybe like a high speed internet connection type of thing. The Modern Witch Tarot. And as you can see, you know, if someone wants to learn how to read with the Rider-Waite-Smith system, but they don't want to go old school, you know, just go more modern, and you'll pretty much get the same, at least for me, I should say, you'll get the same kind of feel or results. And the third one, this one, thinking about it, it's a little bit surprising considering that I don't normally go for collaborate, oh my goodness, decks created by many artists, collaborative, there we go, my goodness, sorry, my tongue. And that is the Ostera Tarot. Normally I don't go for collaborative decks, only because I'm a little bit picky with cohesiveness, and if I feel that the art style deviates too much from artist to artist, it kind of, to my eyes, it kind of throws off my eyes, and it doesn't help me focus. But yet with this deck, I mean, it's 4 artists, the creators, I got together and made it. I believe each was in charge of a suit, a minor arcana suit, and then they split the majors. But even if you can see some drawing style differences, like even with that, I didn't find myself having that many issues in drawing inspiration or finding pertinent meanings when I was doing readings. And as you can see, this is also based on the Rider-Waite system, and as you can see, it differs from the I call it standard or the classic, but I still draw from it. This is one of my favorite cards. I really like, you know, as you can see, this is a totally different version of the sun. Normally, if it's Rider-Waite-Smith, you'll have a little child on a white horse. If it's Marseille, it'll be 2 little children in a sunny field. But, you know, the meaning is still kind of there here with the 9 of Swords, if I remember correctly. You can kind of get the meaning still, but it's a different, you know, first off, it's not a person, it's an animal, totally different position point of view, but the meaning is still there. So yeah, with the Ostera Tarot, even though it's different, here you can see an example of 2 different drawing styles. Let me get that light out of here. So, you know, you can see 2 different drawing styles between the Page of Sword and the Empress. But somehow it still kind of ties itself together. I personally, this is one of my favorite versions of the Devil card. You can see it. To me, I interpreted it differently depending on the context and the other cards around. But this would be an example of where I, you know, just looking at the imagery, I got different meanings, interpretation, different feelings, atmosphere even. So this is my third deck of, I would say, most ease of interpretation, the Ostera Tarot. And I will give a honorable shout out, because it's not that far behind, but I decided not to include it really or talk about it much. It's the give me 1 second, I just forgot the name. It's the Heaven and Earth Tarot. That one, let me just pull one card real quick because I have it over here. That one is because I believe also because it's off of the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot system, but I believe just the contrast and how the card was designed, to me it looks like the characters or the subject is brightened and everything else behind is kind of dark, and so it creates this contrast. And I don't really know how my brain and everything else and the spirits, whatever you want to call it, made this equation where it just kind of pops in my face. It's almost kind of a, no, I'm here, don't focus on anything else but this thing right here, and this is what you need to get out of this card. And to me, this deck is very in my face. So depending if you have that deck, maybe it's the same for you, maybe it's something different. So here you are, my 3 choices for decks with ease of interpretation. I'm missing one. The Ostera Tarot, there it is. The Modern Witch Tarot, and I put it in just a little plastic. Ooh, it's kind of shiny. Let me take it out of the bag. It's probably blasphemy somewhere to keep it in a Ziploc bag, but it is what it is. The Rider-Waite-Smith, I think it's under the Rider Tarot deck, this particular version. So what about you guys? What are your decks that, when you use it, it's almost instantaneous, you have your message without really searching your brain or racking your mind or reaching for the book? Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, thank you for spending some time and listening to me. And until next time, bye bye guys.